Well, and good evening, folks, and welcome to FMA Discussion. This is episode 408, and tonight we have Paulo Rubio back, and we're going to be covering his teaching. He's jumped into teaching as well as he should have, and probably some time ago, but he did it. And we'll be covering what resonates with him, what he's doing, his demographics as far as teaching, kids, adults, privates. We're going to jump into all that stuff. If you have questions, please put them in the right-hand side, and I'll get to them as we go. If you're watching, tell us where you're watching from. Smash that like button, and without further ado, here is Jen, Paulo Rubio. Hey.
Mr. Franco, what's up, brother?
How are you? As always appreciate when you come on. Thank you.
Yes.
You know,
I like that clip that you started with.
What's that?
I like that clip that you opened with.
Yeah, it wasn't too long, not too short, and just to get a glimpse of what you're doing, which we're definitely going to jump into. I thought the test run was a great one. People were watching it. It seemed to resonate people what we were talking about. And so without further ado, the one thing I would like to, I mentioned to you yesterday in a test run, you had some adversity going back some time. I think the time frame was somewhere around maybe a year and a half, perhaps 2 years ago. And I forget how the conversation came up, but you made it very clear and cut that like you're not teaching, there was no interest. And looking back then, why was that? Like, why did you feel that way back then?
Why didn't I want to teach? I just didn't want the responsibility. I was focused on myself and developing myself. I was caught up in this idea that I couldn't teach a system, and so therefore I couldn't teach Filipino martial arts. And at that time, for a long time, it just didn't interest me, And then it changed. And the change was there are people who saw it coming. They're like, yeah, you're saying that now, but look what you're doing. Look who you're associating with. Look at the videos you're creating. You're already teaching. So there were those people. Yeah. And I suppose part of it was me being a little, stop it.
Did you do it again?
But I've always considered myself a teacher, right? But making that leap into actually holding classes, like regularly scheduled classes, that was my resistance to teaching. I didn't want that.
You mean like adhering to a schedule, like a curriculum, and that could be it's funny you mentioned that along that timeline. That there were some folks saying like, oh no, you're going to do it and this and that, kind of foreseeing the future. When you made that comment, that reference a year, half, 2 years ago, I remember thinking like, this is an incredibly creative guy. I mean, the whole stuff that he's done, the traveling, the meeting these people, the videoing, I mean, the whole social media aspect, your stuff you've done in Canada, and I'm just thinking like, this guy could really tap into his creativity to really break, the mold as far as, teaching aspects and go beyond the scope of like what is, I guess, pursued as normal, teaching lens or what have you. So it kind of surprised me when you said that based on what I was witnessing as far as you and what you're doing. So the eventual change came, was it due to like, I know, Tuan Jared awarded you a rank. Was it a culmination of stuff that kind of put you over the hump to teach?
Lakan Guru. It all came together.
Okay,
I wouldn't say my getting a rank in the PTTA to be like the catalyst that actually allowed me to make the leap.
Yeah.
But it was certainly a series of signs, and I believe in this stuff. And there were a lot of signs pointing me in the direction to just go, you know what, just go ahead and start. Just start. And again, everything's sort of aligned. I teach at Soul Martial Arts, which used to be Pound for Pound, which is like literally 5 minutes away from me. It's where my kids took jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai. It's where I train sometimes. I use the workout equipment there. And it was just, it was a culmination of a whole bunch of signs from the universe to go, hey, stop dicking around, Rubio. Like, go start teaching. So then I did. Okay. I did. Yeah.
So, wow. So when you go there, you lift weights, bro? Do you lift? I mean, do you?
How are you even asking that kind of question, bro? Have you not seen the transformation, bro? Have you not seen these guns recently? Yeah.
I know, God. I try to, but it's so boring. But hey, you don't use it, you lose it, right? So all right. So when did you make it, was it an official announcement, or how did you segue into doing it?
No, I was there one day and I was like, because I'm friends with the owners. I'm like, hey, I think I want to teach Filipino martial arts. And they're like, yeah, like we got a Sunday slot and you can fill it. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. And it kind of sunk in, like, holy crap, man. Now I got to be available every Sunday. And then it got switched to Saturdays. Like I travel, I got other stuff to do, and I don't like waking up. I don't like waking up when I have to wake up. I like waking up when I want to wake up. Yeah. So it's like it sunk in, and then I had like a bit of anxiety just weeks prior to, because we postponed the start time because there was like Super Bowl, and then there was a national holiday, and then there was some weather issues, and then boom, first class. So, but hey, it's 1 hour a week. I can do that.
Yeah, that's so tell me something. When you mentioned, you had some anxiety, coming up 2 weeks up to it and all that. Upon walking into the facility and they're waiting for you and all that, were you nervous? Because I bring this up because I remember when I first started teaching kids at this satellite school. And I had to walk down the hallway, I had to go to the gym, and there they are, just all sitting there in lines. And I think I had like an internal anxiety attack, which probably was seen by other people, maybe. But did you have that feeling when you were walking in there and you were seeing them?
Yeah, because also I didn't know what I was going to teach. But listen, Dean, this thing that you talk about, this pre-class anxiety, the highest level instructors have this when they walk into a seminar. It doesn't matter how long they've been doing it for, right? And I speak with these people.
Yeah.
I speak with these people, and I don't care who you are, how long you've been teaching for. When you have flown into a new city about to teach a brand new group of potential students, you feel anxiety, you feel nervous, you get butterflies in your stomach the night before. You're careful what you eat so that you're not all poopy, and you just want to be at your best, right? And this is something that instructors don't often talk about, but I hear from them. I know they're nervous. I know they're nervous before they walk into a room full of people that they've never met before. And then they get into the groove.
That's what it is.
There's always that.
And I can speak on this, and I'm not saying I go around seminars, but the few ones I've done, in conjunction with other folks or what have you. Yeah, I mean, it is kind of a sleepless night. There is anxiety with me. I think it's for people who genuinely care because they want to give the best version of themselves, and and they're not arrogant. They're not taking it for granted. They really take this seriously, and they want to just present well. And so it's great to hear that you talk to folks that do this more frequently than I or other folks, that they still experience.
At the highest level, they go through that. And you know what it is? It's because it is a kind of interactive performance, right? And so you talk to stand-up comics or musicians who have to perform on stage. The interaction between the material that you know and love and connect with and how the audience is going to react to that will determine how well that performance goes. And it's not a sterile PowerPoint presentation where you're just going through slides. Right, the participants have something to say about it, and so if you're not if you're not going to a seminar with that sense of a little bit of nervousness, those butterflies, right? That pre-performance jitters. I think it's time for you to quit and stop doing it, because then you've gotten too complacent. You've gotten
or you're
used to
just
how
recycling the same stuff.
Yeah, you're just going through the motions.
And I agree. Yeah, I agree with that. Like, maybe it might be time for you to hang it up, because you're not looking deep in yourself or giving your best version, because you're just, like you said, working on complacency. We got some folks in here that are saying hello. We got Kurt. Come on, let's go. We got Roberto. All right. We got Eric O'Brien. Justin, Justin. We got Tracy Lee. My wife is a huge fan of yours. We got Brett, Royce, Patrick. All right. And Michael Frazier. All right. And Renee. So Renee says every time. Like, he experiences every time. Matt, here's his comment too on Phil. The only reason I'm nervous is because I care that people get value. Yeah, I think that's an absolute.
Isn't that so important? That is so important. I'm glad Renee mentioned that. It's that. It's that. It's
exactly right. Like if you didn't give a crap, you would just be like, oh, whatever. Just
it's you're not just out there giving like a speech or a PowerPoint presentation where like the value of the material is there. It's in those very same slides. Every time you click it, there's value, there's the information, this sort. Here, the value is, did the students get better? Did your material resonate? Did it click? Did it lock? It's about your presentation. And who's a great instructor that I model what I do based on my observations of several instructors. I learn from every instructor. Sometimes I learn what not to do, right? But there's an instructor by the name of Chad Lyman. I'm not sure if you've heard of Chad.
I think I've heard that name, Chad Lyman. What's his discipline?
Yeah. Jiu-jitsu. He's like the senior jiu-jitsu instructor at Extreme Couture Fight Camp in Vegas. He's been a cop for a really long time. He's the founder of Police Jiu-Jitsu, PJJ. And it's spreading rapidly. And he's a phenomenal instructor. And one of the three pillars, right? Other than knowing your material, right? So it's knowledge. You got to have the skill to do it. It's your ability to read the room. If you can't read the room and you can't engage with the people that you're teaching to, it almost doesn't matter how good your material is, right? Because the people have paid money to be there to learn from you. And so there is an expectation of service, like you are at their service. Now, I believe that. But he says one of the most important things that you can learn as an instructor is know how to read the room. And this will allow you to navigate through not only what to teach, what sequence to teach, how to teach it, how to provide feedback, how to receive feedback from that group, right? So reading the room is super important. And
when he mentions reading the room, is it also as far as how to establish the connection? I mean, I know what you were just mentioning as far as where to go, as far as direction of material, but is there also a connectivity aspect to it?
1,000%. And just like a good stand-up comic, right? You can have an expectation of your audience's tolerance for sexist jokes, dirty jokes, racist jokes, topical material that are controversial. And if you stay on that linear path, like I'm going to tell joke A, B, C, and you deliver joke A, and the audience is like,
ooh.
Right? Yeah. And so, first of all, if you don't address that by engaging, right, like you mentioned, talking to the audience, how to communicate with them, and you go ahead and you deliver joke B, then you've got a bigger problem. You've got a deeper hole to dig yourself out of. And again, when instructors get too comfortable in their material,
I tell you, man, I have
the biggest failure.
I tell you, it really, I think I might be on the extreme aspect of things. I mean, like not even just for seminars, like if I did it, matter of fact, like I did this video yesterday for my students in the group, and I was up the whole night thinking about it because I didn't like it. So I couldn't wait for the morning to come around to redo it and all that. But just much to your point, like if you take this really to heart, you giving information to whether it's a seminar, individual, private, what have you, if you really take it to heart, I mean, it will dwell on you because you're so passionate. You want to get the best version of yourself to the whoever the audience is, so they can potentially, hopefully, get something really out of it and be better when they left, regardless of the duration of time they're with you. You know,
for sure.
Yeah, that's just yeah. Hey, by the way,
yeah,
I think you need to stand up and show the shirt. You know,
I need to what?
I think you need to stand up and show the shirt. I think you need to, yes, turn. Yeah, like they see the back. You could do a little kind of yeah. There.
You like that? Boom, baby! MMA discussion. Dean, your internet is so like, guys who are watching. Does Dean look super pixelated? Because you look like just a ball of pixels to me.
I mean, is it still looking? Or is it better now? Or is it still the same?
No, and you're showing at like one tiny red bar of the signal.
What is going on?
Guys, does Dean look bad quality? Or is that just me? Maybe it's my internet.
No, I don't. I wonder if it's fuzzy down. We might have something going on here with our internet because Tracy just said there's something fuzzy
downstairs.
God, I might not be able to do anything about it. Sorry, folks. I could try. You know what? Here, I could do this. I'm going to exit quick and come right back. But I'm thinking it's definitely internet. I might not be able to do it. Dean's too fast for the camera. Oh my goodness. All right. Okay. Hang tight.
Tracy heard my joke.
What'd you say?
No, because she wrote it's fuzzy downstairs, and I'm like, I didn't need you to tell me that Dean was fuzzy downstairs. Okay.
She is a fan. All right, folks. Hang tight. I'm gonna do a quick return here. All right. Don't go anywhere.
I'll be here. Yeah. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, Brian wrote. Be loyal to your students.
Comments. Am I any better now, or I'm still fuzzy?
You're still fuzzy, Dean. Fuzzy old Dean.
Sorry. Okay. All right. I'll be back.
There he goes. Fuzzy Dean is gone. So I want to talk about loyalty, because Brian Rodriguez wrote.
How's it now? Is it better?
Whoa! Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm glad it's all it took. I can't explain.
Yeah, look, and it's all green bars. Look at that. You fixed it.
All right. Yeah. Dean's is full on. It's full.
Nick. Shout out to Nick.
Okay. All right. I'm back. All right. Seems like everything's okay. I'm just going to want to catch. All right, Paulo, just bear with me. I want to just catch up with the comments here.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Okay. Eric saying represent. Okay. First time Dean I spoke episode. I didn't sleep for.
Go watch episode 355. It's my favorite episode.
Do you know that? Do you know about episode? Have you seen episode 355? Have you seen episode 355?
No, I don't really watch.
Nope, Dean's too fast. No. Paulo, did you take a position? No. He's just a guess. All right, looking fuzzy. Yes, he is pixelated. Okay, looks like I'm caught up. All right, I think Emmett.
Cool.
You don't understand the anxiety of filming material. Is Paulo bottomless? Are you bottomless? I can see Dean's
I can
gray
totally
hair.
understand
Thank you,
anxiety.
Fred.
Yeah.
All right. So we're back. All right. I better not. Okay. Good. All right. So we were talking about the anxiety. Okay. So that first Sunday, you're walking into the gym, you're seeing them there.
Yeah.
Walk us through it. Like, what was your introduction? What did you first teach? Or like, was there an intro? Like, if you can remember.
Yeah, and I usually start every class with an introduction to what we're about to learn.
Okay.
Sometimes that starts with context, because if I'm about to show a fancy schmancy nonsense FMA drill, I like to be honest with it. I'll be like, hey, look, today's class is going to be a mental challenge. This drill is not going to represent a fight. I want you to pay attention to X, Y, and Z parts, and then we're going to have a discussion about that after. So there is a U.S. Army Ranger by the name of Kawa Maulai, and he was actually not just a Ranger, but he was an instructor. He became an instructor in the Ranger Battalion. He's an Afghani, actually, which is crazy, like Afghan American. Super intelligent and articulate guy. And then he passed on something to me that I like to use, and it's the idea of task, purpose, focus.
Task.
And I think I spoke about this before.
Okay.
Right. And it's important when you're training people that they have an understanding of the task, the purpose, and the focus. So I'll give you an example.
Okay.
If the task is to learn Sumbrada, right? Most of us know how to do Sumbrada. I just learned, and I am diving deep into Sumbrada. Okay, so there are the motions in Sumbrada. So your task is to memorize and loop Sumbrada, right? And then you have to explain to them the purpose. What is the purpose of each move? What is the purpose of doing Sumbrada to begin with? And then once they understand the task and they have a grasp of what they need to do, and then they understand the purpose, why they need to do it, then you impart to them a focus, right? I want you to focus on distance. I want you to focus on timing. Or I want you to focus on the first two moves. And so in this way, you're breaking down the learning arc. And you're also, by doing, task, purpose, focus, you allow for an individual to have a conversation and maybe shift a little bit what their focus might be. In any case, they understand what they need to do, why they're doing it, and what they need to really work on. So that's one of the things that I've picked up, right? So I've mentioned Chad. I've mentioned Kawa. Another great instructor, for example, is Tuhan Jerdwihungi. Incredible instructor. One time I saw him teach in North Carolina to a room full of killers, bro. Like, judo black belts, jiu-jitsu, competitors, Krav Maga guys. And here he was showing like the most basic knife nonsense. And I was like, this is what I thought, right? He was showing, low line thrust, bisecting line. And I'm like, oh my God, he's getting people to do it over and over and over. And then he would layer something on top of that. So his teaching style is almost, it's wait and see. He's going to allow you to discover what the purpose. He's going to give you tasks, right? But he's going to allow you to discover for yourself the purpose. And so when he first shows the first step of this knife drill, I'm like, oh my God, look, everybody looks freaking bored.
Oh, okay.
5-10 minutes past. Yeah. Right? They're just like going through the motions. And he's giving cues. Hey, so he's giving a focus, but he's not really telling you necessarily right away the purpose. It's beautiful. And then he'll show the next layer of it. And then it would be layered and layered and layered. And by the end of it, people are like, oh, I see why we couldn't have jumped to this part. I see why
Okay.
we had to do the stuff we thought was boring and useless. I see. And so to see that kind of a transformation in the audience, for me, that's another thing I picked up. I'm like, just like a good joke. I always go back to comedy, right? Because I love comedy. When you set up a good joke and the audience laughs because you don't need to say the punchline, right? It's you can't get that.
Yeah.
You can't buy that kind of delivery, you know? And so that's, again, so Chad, Kawa,
Juan Jared.
Juan Jared. And then there's guys like Dan Inosanto and Kit Asenas who just overload your brain. They'll teach you 8 things in 30 seconds. You're not going to get any
seminars. Man, Larry Hartzell, and you don't even try writing notes, man. It's just a lost cause. I mean, for me, it was anyhow. It's just too overwhelming, you know.
Here's my advice to people who go into like an Inosanto type seminar. First of all, let me just say, sometimes people just like to go to Inosanto seminars to hear the Bruce Lee stories and to get the selfies. But the way he actually teaches is he overloads you. He doesn't give you enough time to necessarily process and get good at anything. He's just like, here's a buffet. And that can be frustrating for people who are like, show me the fundamentals. Let's rep it out over and over. Let's sweat. Let's do it till I can't get it wrong. That can be, an Inosanto, Kit Asenas type seminar. Kit Asenas is the executive director of the PTTA, the founder of Kali Mundo in the Philippines. But it's just like the next thing and the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. My advice for that is to dive into the process of getting overloaded, because it's pushing your brain. Like sometimes we can go, oh, that's too much, right? And we just kind of throw our hands up and give up. But it's like a grind. It's a mental grind, like trying to get every next thing and the next thing. That can be. Yeah, it's a great. I didn't get it at first, but I get it now.
No, and particularly the type of learner you are too. You know what I mean? It can even be more challenging. You know what I mean? It can be overwhelming. I've experienced it. Like just to your exact words. Yeah, you're just getting shovel loads of stuff just thrown at you now. And the thing is, if you're new, like it's one thing, like if you follow Dan around on the circuit and you've done this for years and years, you're gonna be able to acclimate yourself and be fine. But if you're new and you're just jumping in, it's going to be very challenging.
Yeah. So yeah, Dina, I've studied all of these incredible teachers, and I've found value in each one of their teaching styles. I learned some things from them. I learned what not to do from them. I learned what might be good, but isn't congruent with my style, and so I don't adopt it. But
yeah, right. You have to fit you right. You have to fit your personality. So all right. So let's look back to the Sunday. So the demographics of your Sunday class. What is it?
It's a mixed bag, bro. It's a mixed bag because they're existing students. So these are the guys who do jujitsu.
Oh, so they're okay.
And boxing.
All right.
Right. And so this is also part of why I jumped into it, because I don't have to worry about student retention and I don't have to worry about recruitment. I can just have a laboratory.
Yeah.
I don't pay any bills to teach my class. I don't get paid to teach that class. They're existing students of that academy, and I get to have a laboratory. That was a big one for me. It was
having a place to perfect your craft, your teaching craft, right? That's a value. Yeah. Okay.
Huge. And I don't have to compromise myself for fear of losing students, right? Like I've had students there who show up to one class, never show up again. I have people show up for 5 weeks and then they miss the next 3 classes. I have new students every Saturday. Okay. So the challenge, like last week, I had some of my most dedicated students and 4 brand new students who had never done it before. So how do I navigate through that?
How do you get them in? That's hard, I tell you, because I have a similar setup as you mentioned. I go to a place every Friday night. It's a Kempo school, and I teach based on action flag stick work for kids. And like I'll get repeats we go on a monthly 4-week basis, and I'll get repeats, but then you get some new ones in, and it's kind of tough to, you're playing the new ones and with the ones that have been there for a while, and it can be challenging,
So you want to know how I navigate through that?
Yeah, how do you?
So guys, if I can just recap for a second, right? These are students who pay an existing fee to that academy doing jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, and boxing. They can now do Filipino martial arts 1 hour a week. There are students that I have who have become dedicated, and one of them drives an hour and a half away to show up to that one class. One guy drives from Waterloo, another guy an hour and a half away from Mississauga, another guy from they make the commute on Saturday to be there with me. So super dedicated people, and then people who are there for the first time. So this is where the Pikiti Tersha model is helpful. Learn to teach to learn. That clip, if you guys will rewind, that clip that you showed at the very beginning of this podcast, I wasn't in that clip.
No.
They were just students teaching each other. And so I don't wait for them to earn an instructor rank
to start teaching. Okay.
Especially given the nature that it's once a week, 1 hour, right? So immediately, and I get everybody. So I split up the group and they say, you two, I just taught you Sombrada. Like they just learned Sombrada. Okay. And because maybe we do like 15 minutes before class. Yeah. I'm like, I want you to teach it to these guys.
Okay.
And then I take the other group and I say, hey, listen, you're the leader. These are the rules for sparring. You're responsible for everybody's safety. You're responsible for keeping time, right? And so it's such a tribal in a sense of like there isn't one chief. It's like it's every subgroup has a task that serves the bigger group.
I like that. What ages are you referencing here?
The youngest person I have is the youngest person I've had was like 12. I've had a few 12, a few like preteens, and then I have older people. It's a mixed bag, bro.
So when you say like 12 to young adults,
yeah. So I have one of my best students is a 15-year-old girl who's just like an absolute monster, just a sponge for knowledge. Yeah.
Wow. See, I got my guys. They're little. I got 5 to 14, mixed bag. You know what I mean? I mean, it's fun. I mean, they're kids, so I love it. And but yeah, I mean, it's like you said, new folks come in, it can be challenging. So you've been at this for a while now. I mean, it's been a couple months at least with you going to this, which is now on Saturday now, right?
Yeah, it's I think it's been 8 or 9 weeks. Shout out, by the way, I want to acknowledge Brett Reese, Day Owl. That's one of my native Indian names that I've been bestowed with. I'm an honorary Navajo warrior from one tribe, and Brett Reese, Day Owl. Thank you. Just want to acknowledge that. But yeah, it's been about just a little over 2 months. My students look good.
Okay. So overall, like, what as far as your findings through this? Let's say a couple months here. We kind of got your approach, how you're doing it. What are the and you might have touched upon it already with the different Asian folks coming in and out, but give us some revelations as far as your teaching experience, and what are some of the tougher challenges? This is kind of a combination of me and Dan's question.
Yeah, some people suck, they just suck, bro. Like I had a dude who couldn't get angle 1s and 2s, And I am not one of those instructors with a
Wait.
savior complex.
But where's your uncle? I mean, your uncle has the correct angle one. Like he's not around. I mean,
I wish I had. That's another challenge too, bro. I don't have an uke other than my son, right? And my son doesn't really train a whole lot of Filipino martial arts. I think he's good because we've been doing Sabayan for years.
yeah.
I think he's actually a pretty great uke considering. But if I'm teaching somebody like Sembrado or Sabayan or a new concept or a new combination, he's learning it on the fly. So
yeah.
a lot of instructors kind of rely on the right hand man, right? Like to be able to stuff. But my biggest revelation is like, some people suck. They just suck. And I don't have the instructor daddy savior complex where I want to invest an extraordinary amount of time to them. I'm like, no, fuck, man. Like, you suck. You can't get angle ones and twos. Don't waste my time. Intellectually, angle ones and twos. You better go practice that crap outside of this class. I have an hour a week. I am not going to babysit you so that you can get an angle 1 and 2 where 95% of the class is ready to move on. So I don't have that savior complex, right?
Yeah.
This is something that I learned from Coach Greg Nelson. Coach Greg Nelson, head coach of 4 UFC champions, Division I wrestler, 4th degree black belt under Pedro Sauer, right? Military combatives instructor, full instructor under Guru Dan and stuff. Here's what I learned from Coach Greg Nelson. I'm going to care about you, but you better care about you a whole lot more.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah.
If you're struggling with ones and twos, this is your second class, it's because you didn't practice the whole week in between. So, screw you, man. Get out of here.
Yeah, you have the luxury of having some older. Yeah, like I mean, I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying at all. Like take the responsibility in your journey and practice at home, and don't come back here the following week and expect me to tailor to you when the rest of the class is on its way to whatever. You know what I mean?
But I do get it, and I respect, and I can tell, like, you're the kind of guy who wants to help this guy, wants to make sure he gets over that. Like, no child left behind. I'm like, sorry, kid, we're moving on. You're like the no child left behind kind of guy. And you're great people, man. I would take, like, if my kids were to learn something, I want them to be your coach, and my kids I shouldn't be my kid's coach, because I'll be like, son, daughter, you are garbage.
That's it.
And you better go practice that, because I'm moving on to something else.
I'm sorry. You're not coming along. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you're not progressing at the rate that I think you should be based on the average. And if you're below average, it's very, I don't know. It's a little Darwinian, in my class.
Yes. So, right. Survival of the fittest. All right. Yeah. You're at Saturday's local class.
Yeah. My class, don't suck, because then you're not going to find yourself liking it.
So far into 2 months, let's focus on the group class. What's been really, like, what stands out that, like, it's been really rewarding for you? Like something, like, it could be a specific incident, particular, it could be an overall theme that you infused or whatever, like something rewarding that you can think of.
I know exactly what that is. I know how to answer that question. Okay. We're gonna cite Todd Fosse here, and neuroplasticity.
Yeah, I remember him on. Yep.
What's that book? Myelination, and there's a book, something about greatness. I don't know, something like that. But I've adopted this philosophy, and it goes like this. It goes, the more new things you learn, the better you get at learning new things. The more new things you learn, the better you get at learning new things.
I dig it.
I believe that the ultimate tool we have is our mental agility. We can call it creative problem solving. We can call it rapid adaptation. You can call it whatever you want. But it's that mental agility. And so the greatest accomplishment for me is that I am noticing my students learn new things at a way faster rate than they used to. It's not even close.
Really?
It's not even close. Yeah. And the nature of what I teach is a lot of it's a mixture between complex brain work, right? And simple stuff done with good timing and mobility, right? So we could do a simple parry, we could do a class, boom, bang, and then we will do something complex. And the marriage of these two modalities, it's just their brains are like, whew. So that's the thing that I'm proudest, that they're learning new
that they are learning at a
fast.
very quicker pace. Okay, nice. No.
Yeah. So I teach them one drill, and I'm like, okay, here's another drill, and they pick it up way faster.
Okay.
That's so rewarding.
All right. You also teach private. So right now we've been kind of focusing on your group class there, which is on Saturdays now. With respects to private students, like, what is your approach with them? Is it kind of tailoring to obviously what they want, or they're requesting, or if they kind of come into you, well, I just want to learn FMA, like, how would you go about it, or with them?
Yeah, a little bit of both, and I think this is how most people do it, right? Because I have some framework of what they're good at. You just really need to know two things to be able to serve a private student well. Number one, how much money you got. No, I'm just kidding. The first thing is
that with your uncle. He was a little upset that time I was late on my payment, like going sometime.
Yeah, he needs payment ahead of time before the lessons start. No, so the two pieces of information you need to know about your private student is what are they interested in learning, and what do they suck at? So if they're interested in learning stick, and they're garbage at distance management, you formulate your lesson to meet those two things simultaneously.
Nice.
Right? If the student's intention is to get good at knife defense, right, and their grip strength is nonsense, then you sort of formulate drills that kind of address both of those things at the same time, and they have fun and right. So
like they're enjoying it.
They suck at. Yeah.
No, I think that's great.
But it's great.
Find out what their weekend, find out what they're coming in for, and at the same time, simultaneously try to address both. Okay. All right. So this is a question. This is kind of Iron Tree's Dave in mind. You seem to be blending kind of functionality, pressure testing, kind of with the art. That's kind of my question, and please explain that. Dave's is also balancing, experimenting with system dogma. If you do that, how? So I kind of put those two together. And so, what say you on
that? So I'm going to take what he said, like when he goes, do I blend in system dogma? The definition, can we replace dogma with tradition? If so, yes, right? Like I teach them Tuhan, like the salutation. I teach them terminology. And I certainly give credit to the instructors that I learned the thing that I'm teaching them too. So if you want to call that dogma, 1000%. Yeah, I'm dogmatic about, giving credit or sharing where I found this inspiration.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
The rest, no, not really. There's a lot of exploration. I like the idea of students getting to write the last chapter of something. So if I teach them, a campfire counter trapping drill with knife,
Mm.
at some point that's got to end. And I'm like, okay, look where you ended up. Maybe you had one hand trapped here, you had one hand free, and you're being pinned. How would you author that ending so that it's a happy ending for you?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like it. I dig it.
Hey guys.
So now, we kind of spoke on this yesterday, where you were like, you're getting combative folks and some folks that are, from other communities. You mentioned a few names yesterday, matter of fact, that really are seeing. They're interested in you because they're seeing this fusion that you're doing, where you're definitely tapping. They're seeing the functionality. You're rolling on the ground, but yet they're seeing you kind of this artsy play and all that. So what can you tell us on that?
Yeah, man.
So
it is completely based on honesty, because nothing turns off a tactical professional more than you showing them a violin and then telling them that it's a hammer. You know what I mean? It's like, here, like if you show a tactical professional a gummy berry, which is just a candy, and you tell them that it's a fruit that is healthy for you, forget it. They know what's up, right? So if you show them something artful and you start talking to them about tactical application, they're going to be like, you're an idiot. And so this is the pitfall of so many Filipino martial arts instructors, and they don't even know it. They'll teach a cop who's been a veteran cop for like 15 years in a metropolitan city.
Okay.
And then they're going to talk about like this knife thing and talk about tactics and cover. It's nonsense. Or they're going to teach a military professional some tappy or some fancy drill and say, this is application. They can see through that. I have a Doberman. I'm sure you can hear him. He's a Shih Tzu. Do you know what I mean? And so when I show something, and this is where I get in trouble from Filipino martial arts instructors, like I can't please everybody. Because if I show an FMA drill and I'm honest about it, the tactical professionals are like, I like your honesty, sir. Then some Filipino martial artists will be like, you're kind of ruining our game, bro. Like,
the traditionalists are going to look at it like, I know where you're going with this, and this
passing thing, this passing like this, like this. I'm like, I don't know. So it's just being honest. I love art. I love sophistication. I love grace. I love performance. I love choreography. So many Filipino martial arts drills can be executed as a choreography, as an artistic performance. Sure. And to actually extract the combative value out of them, it'll look nothing like the pattern. And you're frozen. You're not frozen anymore.
Oh.
No, you're good.
Frozen? Not frozen. Okay.
Yeah. No, you're good. Yeah, choreography is beautiful. And so many Filipino martial artists, including myself, like, I love looking cool, bro. Like, this is FMA. This is one of the coolest martial arts in the whole entire planet.
Yeah, I mean, you want to think about a martial art that can look cool in FMA. I mean, right? You know what I mean?
It's so cool.
Yeah.
I love FMA.
Yeah.
But, like, I'll give you an example. Like the Sabayan drill is beautiful drill. It's beautiful drill. Coach Justin Patricio Fernando and I actually explored full contact Sabayan. We discovered, so Sabayan and Pikiti Tertia means at the same time or together, a simultaneous attack and defense, right? if you were to actually do Sabayan in as authentic and honest and true to the spirit of what Sabayan is, it is a mess, because
you're just both going hard at the same time, right?
Yeah, and if you're both doing it, it's just smash. It's just that, right? Which is great, but it looks freaking ugly and it hurts to train it that way.
Yeah.
So we kind of find a balance. Yeah.
Interesting. I could just see that because you're kind of going here and you're feeding it, and like that, just like going for that's that could be
if you're attacking and defending. Guys, I want you to just envision this, okay? Especially you Pikiti Tertia people who I love. If you're doing a Sabayan drill, distill, person A is attacking and defending at the same time. Person B is also attacking and defending at the same time. What will that look like if you're being honest with it?
You're just going full out, and that's
smash.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I saw a glimpse of it. Oh, you know what? It was when you and Chris were on, and when you guys started, amping up a bit, you can you could see where it could go. Yeah,
it gets really ugly. But this is why I don't bother with learning all of the other Sabayan rules. You just need the base. Actually, you only need one or two moments. It's only a 3-move flow.
Yeah.
You only need really one of them. And all you need it for is to establish that connection when things get messy. Because if you do Sabayan right, it should be freaking ugly. It should be messy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the things. One of the first ones I got when I was trying to get the Tri-V material some years back.
Can you punch up that comment, that last comment by Justin?
Which one?
That's a real.
From
that's also important.
From Nick.
From Justin.
Justin. Okay, here we go. Also important instructors to spar their students that don't have the luxury coming up. That's really important. Yeah.
That's a great point.
How does a 50-year-old lady start with those skills with no drills?
I don't. I have an answer for that.
Go ahead.
I've proven it. Yeah. So can you put up that
question again? Sure.
Can you? Yeah. So how does a 50-year-old lady start with those skills with no drills?
With no drills.
Okay. So here's something that nobody really wants to talk about in Filipino martial arts. Okay. That 50-year-old lady with no skills, she's fucked. If you think that you can impart some sort of magical skills to a 50-year-old lady who has no prior training, you've got a savior complex that is just way out of this world. It's nuts. So you have to be honest about what these drills will actually do to a 50-year-old lady who doesn't have any training. And maybe you ought to reconsider what kind of drills you're teaching that person, especially if you've only got 1 hour with them. Okay? So this is something that I learned from Instructor Zero. Is that, listen, you just cannot standardize everything. And you got to be honest.
I know.
If you're right? If you're look, and he comes, so only train at age athletes. No, that's not what I'm saying. What can you bring up his comment? Because it's worth noting, right?
Okay.
So I say something like this, and a person like that will take it to the extreme. So only train at age athletes? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that you have to be honest, number one, right? You have to be really, really honest with what you teach somebody who is going to be at a physical deficiency to begin with. If you have a 70-year-old student, for example, with no prior training, and you think you can teach that 70-year-old knife defense based on bisecting lines and grip strength, you're fooling yourself. You're fooling them.
Yeah, no, I mean, especially with knife. I mean, that's something I can.
Art. I can teach them art. Yeah, we can start with mobility. we can start with maybe improving their reaction time
or accessing an equalizer. Right?
Yeah, right. And so this is all I mean, Mr. Robert Small. I'm not saying that I am, you exclusively train athletes and people who can. I think self-defense is a right that every human being has. It's built into us. It's a God-given right. But as instructors, we need to be honest with our own abilities and assessing the capabilities of your student, because this savior complex is the thing that's actually going to get people killed. The savior complex that instructors have, that I can teach anybody anything and they're going to be safer. No, man, you just got to be honest, bro.
Yeah, like, hey, this is what I could do for you, and this is all I could do for you. And I mean, right? That's we got a
the
question.
The best we can do is
be honest and give them. All right, here we go. I'm going to back up a bit. Brian, I saved this question for I'm about to go into, which is, folks, kind of your website / how folks can see your downloads. And wow, okay, here we go. Found it. All right, great. Okay, so here's this is Brian Zink's question, and it is, are Paulo's classes download only on a site you can visit? Interested but limited on download space, only have access to a phone. This is Brian Zink's question.
So Brian, you can go to trainwithgn.com. All of my modules are just $15, and you decide where you want to start. Or if you go on my Instagram at GN_Funker Tactical, I have an entire playlist of free training videos, absolutely free. If you go to Funker Tactical or Aperture Fight Focused on YouTube, I have entire playlists of like fight functional stuff, from boxing to Muay Thai to Jiu-Jitsu to Judo, Krav Maga, all free. But here's people can learn from them, but I think when you pay for something, you hold yourself accountable to get value out of that thing you paid for, right? Like you can learn anything on YouTube for free, but if you pay for a class, you're more likely to actually train that stuff. Put your glasses
on. I know.
Casey said. Thank you for asking, Brian. Trainwithgn.com or just my social media stuff. There's tons of.
Can you repeat your website again? Because I'm putting it right now in the comments section.
Yeah, it's trainwithgn.com.
Train with GN. Is GN capitalized or does it matter?
Doesn't matter, but yeah.
But you would like it capitalized.
Capitalized.
I will capitalize it. Trainwithgn.com?
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Okay, I'm posting, and here we go, folks.
They're hyper-focused knife modules, by the way. You're not learning a full system, and if you don't actually put time into it, you're gonna suck at it. You're not gonna get good at it.
There we go. Like, okay, and take care, boys. Thanks for jumping in. We got you from Germany. Okay, okay, here we go. We got another question for you. And this is from Phil. What do you think of Sinawali as a drill, and also using it as a break into? Okay, break into.
So it's great. Let's just put it that way. Like Sinawali with sticks, it's great. It's probably one of the funnest things for new students to learn, because they feel like they earned it, because it's very difficult for them to get that initial pattern. Yeah. But when they do, they're like, "Oh crap!" And it's like, clack, 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 clack.
I remember that day with me. Yeah.
Freaking awesome.
Yeah.
But Sinawali conceptually, once they understand it on that deeper level, it's It's counter trapping, right? It's being able to navigate these limbs and weapons in close range from highs and lows. Like there's a lot of knife counter traps that look like Sinawali. And so what I don't like to do is say, you do Sinawali, you're good at counter trapping. No, it's just like a visual illustration of the concept. You still got to explore the concept based on those specific parameters. A lot of people love Sinawali and they're like, hey man, here's Sinawali and here's Sinawali for punching.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, you can't really
that's
punch.
one of the carryovers from weapons that they automatically translate into empty hands. I don't want to deviate off course here, but okay. Okay, so we kind of covered you got your group class, your privates, what you're doing. What do you want what do you want the community to see you as, like, in this role of teaching? Like, how do you want to be viewed? You know what I mean? In regards to like this new compassive you teaching.
Okay, so whether or not people like my approach to it, I think most people see me as an ambassador for Filipino martial arts. I think
that's absolutely fair. Yeah.
I think people see that I've gotten people into the Filipino martial arts, right? So I got that. I feel fairly confident with that. Wow, that's a question that I've been actually diving deep into lately, as I try to codify and create the system, Dean. Because so I have this. It's not really a theory anymore because every time I feel like I show something innovative and new, I have an old grandmaster message me and say, "Hey, that's the way we used to train."
Yeah.
And so the interesting part about that is that I might have somebody who trains in a system and see something that I do and say, hey, that's bullshit. And then I might hear from one of their elders privately to say, that's how we used to train. That's what we used to do. So I also believe that every human being is a great stick fighter when they were a kid. And they just, in the process of growing up, they lose that knowledge, this primal built-in knowledge. Because, a kid with a stick is imaginative, they're innovative, they're fearless, they're adaptive. They can use that stick to communicate and interact with others, or they can use that stick to get to know themselves a little bit better. That stick is a companion. It's a part of who they are. It's a toy. It's a fighting tool, right? So as we grow up, we lose that. And so what I want my teaching to become and how I want to brand my teaching is that I want to remind you of things that you knew but had forgotten.
But you were forgotten because of not being able to continue to play.
Because you grew up. You started listening to masters and gurus, and you started subscribing to systems, and you started believing in stuff that you would have difficulty getting a child to really believe, because that, yeah. And so I want to recite something for you.
Sure.
Okay. I've been in my deep dive into finding ancient texts and literature and philosophies that align with this idea. I didn't just want to come up with it, right? I wanted some proof that, hey, there is a forgotten wisdom that's built into all of us. There is this generational warrior instinct that's in all of us that's suppressed. And so I'm going to create a bunch of games and create a bunch of conditions that allow you to just reconnect with that. And so, yeah, so it goes like this. This was written by Thoth, which is it's an Egyptian god who lived for thousands of years under different civilizations. And he wrote this thing. It's a long kind of like poem, but I broke it down into 4 lines and I rearranged it. And it goes like this. And this, when I create my system, this will be our salutation. This will be our allegiance, you know, like back in the day, like when you were a kid, right? You would say the allegiance to the flag. And you would just session with this, right? This is the tradition that I want to infuse into the system that I create. It's 4 lines. And it goes, hard is the pathway that leads to the wisdom. Hard is the pathway that leads to the light. Hark, the knowledge of powers forgotten. Free must he be from the bondage of night.
Interesting.
That would be our thing. Hard is the pathway that leads to the wisdom. Hard is the pathway that leads to the light. Hark, the knowledge of powers forgotten. Free must he be from the bondage of night.
Wow. I just like that whole association you made with, and the kid and the stick and how that got lost through, not being the kid anymore, or not able to be the kid anymore because of responsibility or passage of, rites of passage or whatever, in that. But here, I got a question for you. And we'll go a little off topic, but I'll get us back on track. And because I also got a question, I think a question came in from, I tell you what, tackle this question first, and then I'll, okay, this is from Robert Small again. You kind of covered this, or I think he jumped in late. I think he missed this part. So,
yeah. What's my teaching process?
Correct.
If I were to summarize it, it's an exploration of commonalities between systems using a principle-based learning method. That's it. I hope that makes sense, right?
Makes sense to me. Yeah.
Exploration of commonalities and being
kind of what I do with when I'm doing my system. It's basically it. Really, what was the common theme? What was the common thread?
Exactly.
Woven.
I think it's a good approach.
Yeah.
That way, you know what else? What you can do with that, Dean, is you can throw a whole bunch of crap to people, and as long as it falls within a commonality or a principle, you're learning the same thing. And this helps. This helps me when I'm teaching a class once a week for an hour.
Yeah. No.
Thanks, Nicholas.
Okay. All right. I believe. Okay. I'm only asking this because you kind of brought the analogy there with the kids and the stick. I also believe, and I've talked this at length with one of my coaches, Tom Sotis. Knife is in your DNA. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
Right?
No, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Look, the relationship between man and steel is and this is what I learned from folks like Bastien. He's a knife maker. He's a martial artist. He makes these blades, and the relationship between man and his sword or his knife, it's timeless,
personal, right?
Personal. That's why, like, if you guys have ever seen any of my knife reviews, it's all very hippie like. Like, do you like the design? Do you like how it makes you feel? Does it fit your hand? Do the ergonomics match the way that you prefer to move? This is made of P10 steel, and it's got double penetrating prongs and
it's
barbs
and ball bearing assist.
It's crazy. Sometimes nice.
Well, lost the plot. $999 at the checkout.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you as far as
hang out with you and
yeah. I mean that's another question from Robert.
Yeah, for sure.
Isn't that your learning process?
Duh. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. That is it's my learning process, but I'm not unique by any stretch of the imagination. That's how children learn. That's how all children learn.
Yeah.
And so I actually wrote something. I wrote like a 5-pointer about like why I wanted to teach or what was in it for me or my reasons for teaching.
Mm.
And it was point number 2 where I wrote, I wanted to try to bring my personal learning experience to other people, which is an exploration of concepts, commonalities, the idea that we are all creators and that we need to test our theories, right? So how I learn, I want to see if I can package that for people who don't get to travel all over the world and meet all of these instructors. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe they can't. They don't. Yeah, 100%. But at least they can access something, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Sombrada. So what's your kick on Sombrada? Why do you like it? What does it do for you?
I love Sombrada, man. I've been exploring it deeply.
So the 5 count, the 3 count or 5 count? Not that
Bop,
it
bop,
matters.
bop, bop, bop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then
Are you doing 5 count? Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that basic pattern is I see it the same way I see Sabayan, which is
Okay.
every bit of it makes sense or can make sense. And the pattern is simple enough that you can really use each one of those strikes as a landmark for exploration, where you can just, because I think Sombrada also can get very, very messy because it can turn into a fight. It's got a very, the energy in Sombrada when you do it right, it's incredible. When you're changing ranges.
Yeah,
right?
if you're putting that in there, yeah. I mean, I think you can make it, this is why I'm asking you, like, one of the things that drives me crazy about it is that you've seen these guys are just kind of stand there, and I get it okay, you're first getting the pattern. Okay, fair.
Yeah.
But after there's established, they know their roles, they know what they're doing. You're kind of just in there and they're kind of saying that complacent, one step, half stepping, and with a check in hand, and that's it. That's all they do. Like and that, I don't say anything, but like, man, can't you go beyond that?
I've identified why people have problems with using Sombrada as a tool for exploration. And it goes like this. The pattern is so compelling that you first learn it slow, right? And then you build up speed, right? And then once you build up speed, Sombrada is freaking amazing. Like, blah, 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 blah.
I know, yeah. I mean, it's aesthetically pleasing to see two people in rhythm and they're in cadence and all that. But
here's the problem.
And I agree with you. But man, when I look at it, okay, man, we were to isolate one strike. I'm going to take Elastico. I'm going to try your hand, and I'm going to refeed you. You're going to work on Arco, the offline, my leg shot. I mean, I just think there's just so much you can do with it,
Yeah. Getting back to where I have pegged the problem of that prevents people from exploring it is once you get the base pattern memorized and you're going fast, to explore, you actually need to go back and go really, really slow again.
Oh, no, 100%. I totally agree with you, but I think it's worth doing,
Yeah, but people don't want to do that because
I know once they get like here and they're in that flow and everybody and they're getting,
so they just throw it. Like, no, bro.
And they put the video on and they're getting 1,000 likes. You think they were going to go backwards now? I know.
So that's the problem with exploring with Sombrada is like it necessitates you to start slow, go as fast as you can, and then hit the brakes and go slow again.
And then reset, go back. I get it. I get it. And I agree with you on that. Like some people are just reluctant to do that. I get it. Yeah.
It sucks. I mean, you can do other stuff to explore.
So I'm asking you about some of these drills. Like what is your approach? I guess what I'm segueing into is attribute development versus this stuff. And like with your group there, for instance, on Saturday, how are you introducing these? Or if you are, like, what are you introducing? Is there some memorization / drill format? And if so, obviously no issue there. But now at the same time, are you also instilling some attribute development? And if so, how?
Yes. Yeah. So I think the drills are important because they become like mini classrooms where you can teach other stuff from.
Mm.
What I mean by that is if for some reason I get the great fortune of the whole class knows the base pattern of Sabayan,
Mm.
then I can teach them how to use Sabayan in reverse grip to get an arm drag. If I don't have them all subscribe or in that classroom of knowing base Sabayan, then to get to my reverse grip arm drag in Sabayan, I got to teach somebody base Sabayan.
Mm.
So this is where I think drills are important. The drills are landmarks that I go, okay, who knows Sabayan? Boom, 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 boom. You five come with me. You guys don't know Sabayan? Okay, you teach them Sabayan, right? So I'll get somebody who knows Sabayan. I'll get them to teach the other group who doesn't know Sabayan. And then with this group, I'll start evolving. So, but then I just do like really, really simple stuff.
Okay.
Simple stuff like mitt work drills where you have to clear. I think clearing obstructions is super important, and doing it fast is super important. Recognizing how to clear. I should not clearing an obstruction fast, but recognizing the best way to clear an obstruction. If you have an arm grab, is it this? If somebody had an arm here, is this the best way? Do I go from the inside? Right? And it's just exploring these. And sometimes I'll give them, a 3 count counter trapping concept. And then at the end of it, I'll be like, hey, let's do double sticks in a wally. And then at the end of that, I'm like, hey, remember that counter trapping thing that we did? Remember that Sinawali thing? Can anybody tell me what the similarity is? And they're like, yeah, that motion. I'm like, yeah, exactly. So throwing a whole bunch of things to a group of people, as long as they're congruent with a commonality, a theme, a tactic, or a principle, then even though the rates of learning are different, they're learning the same things.
Okay. No, that's great. Yeah. Sounds like it's an enjoyable classroom setting.
Great, man. We spar almost every class now.
Yeah, at the end, I have the kids do. They love it. I run around smacking each other. With the little kids, it can be kind of entertaining watching. But okay, Hubin Lubin. Like, what's your take on that? Are you planning to introduce that to them, or is it something you're waiting on, or not that you need to, obviously?
Hubot is built into so many like natural defensive tactics already that if I were to teach them Hubad, it would just be as a matter of art, I guess. But we do Hubad all day long in everything. That's Hubad. It's just another thing.
I mean, if you're going inside sector, I mean, there's your initial or
bisecting line Hubad is everywhere.
Can be.
It's ubiquitous. You can't not do FMA and not do Hubad. Now you can do it in the whatever, it's fine. But you can't do any sort of close range knife work without recognizing, oh, that was technically Hubad, bro.
Yeah, at least on the entry. Yeah, I know.
I taught them Hubad.
Yeah. Are you teaching anything outside? Is it pretty much FMA, or I mean, like, regardless of whether there's private clientele, the group class, you're kind of staying in the FMA lane, or anything else?
No. There are some wrestling drills that are super important to FMA. Like Ryan, can you come here for a second? I'm going to show you a wrestling drill that's like super important to FMA. So yeah, wrestling. I'm hesitant to call it even judo, but like just disbalancing stuff. Concept of chaining attacks. I'm gonna show you a quick drill. Ryan, let me do this drill real quick.
Sure, I can actually I can lower myself. That will give you actually more. Let me just see.
Got this from 200. Tricon, but it's a wrestling
drill. Perfect.
Here we go. This is my son Ryan. Got a haircut like every teenager his age. So if you remember that drill where you just kind of place an arm on me, right? And then we do this wax off to an arm drag.
Arm drag, yeah, critical.
And then we sort of like loop. So he can pick a side, whichever side he touches, right? Out, in, loop. The other side, for example, you can grab me with that. It's just wax off, arm drag, right? And then we go to flow. So go ahead, pick a side, here, side, here. And then if we had like a knife, for example, right? Pick a side here, same idea, right? Cut. If he goes on this side, wax off, and we kind of use the knife as a drag, and then we can do all this stuff. But basically, real quick, just touch here, boom, boom, here, other side, boom, boom, there. And then you play that. So that's something like that pummeling drill, like wrestlers would do that as a warm-up, as a catalyst, to single leg and double leg takedowns, but just knowing which side to go to.
No, I mean, here's the thing with night defense. Arm drag is critical. It's critical because if you're going to deal with the threat and you want to access your equalizer, you're going to need to deal with the threat first. And the best way is to offline it, and now you can access it. And if you don't have arm drag, it's going to be tough. Yeah, I mean, yeah, no argument. Arm drag is critical.
So that's a great arm drag drill because it's symmetrical, but it's asymmetric in terms of pattern. And then you can, I mean, obviously I did that super, super quickly. I didn't talk about, where to place your arm, what happens if it's longer than you, stepping through, all that other stuff. But you get the idea. Wax.
No, absolutely. That's great that you're giving. That's such a that's just such a value. It's great that you're giving them that. It's like one of the main key staples, right? I mean,
there's lots of stuff we can steal and borrow from jiu-jitsu. There's stuff from Aikido that it like a lot of Aikido stuff looks like weird because they're not showing how we got to that range and how we got to that particular orientation. But if you do get there and you had a knife, like, whoo, there's some Aikido stuff that's like, okay. But again, these are conceptual. The stuff like JKD stuff, like trapping and parrying, Muay Thai and boxing has that too. So it's just really all about how you want to honor and where you want to attribute the principle or concept to. That gets me into trouble.
So you're are you giving anti-hand material too as well?
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Look, Eric Byron, and that same drill and no-gi jiu.
Yeah.
It's
case in point, right? Yeah. Hey, James, you found this great. But that's just a staple. What are you giving them? You giving more from the Western boxing lens, or what?
Yeah, because I have boxing coaches there. So the other class I had, and the boxing coach joins my class.
Okay.
Right. And so I'll start off with like, hey, coach, give us a fundamental combination. And then he shows the fundamental combination, whether it's a 1-2, 2-3-2, 1-2-3, whatever it is. And then I show them how to modify it for knife work and how to modify how to hold that mitt to facilitate the modification, right? Like a hook may be palm facing in, which doesn't make sense if you have a knife. You got to go palm down. But then I'm like, this boxing coach can teach more about power generation. So I let the boxing coach teach about hip rotation. And I know where my limitations are. It takes a village to raise a child, and I'm fortunate. And this is, I think, where I have an advantage is that I get to draw from so many different sources, the best of the best.
Yeah. I mean, right, you're right in that gym. I mean, that's fantastic.
It's just the people that I'm fortunate enough. Like, I know people like Guru Dean, and I know Chad Lyman and Gary Drake. Like, I have people to call on to be like, hey, I need, like, how do you teach power generation from a rear weapon side hook and I'll talk to 3 people about it.
Mm.
And I'll be like, oh, okay, well, what's the best way to teach those things? So,
Awesome. Yeah. Like it's nice. You can tap into resources. What is okay? What are just kind of your future? Like, what do you? I mean, like, far as let's take the Saturday class for instance. Like, what's your goal with them? I mean, right now is it? I know you mentioned it's kind of your laboratory and all that, but like, where would you like to see that class go to?
I want to hold a festival. I want to hold an event.
Okay.
A festival, and it's going to start from these guys. I mean, that's way ahead. What do I want for this class?
Yeah.
Jeez. Nothing. I don't know. Yeah, I don't want it. I don't know.
What about if they were to rank? I mean, like, have you considered rank, or at this point it's not really an option, or you want to develop? Or
no, I'm going to give them rank, and I'm going to get permission from Bikini Tertia Tactical Association with the guidance of actual high level instructors. I'm only a Lakan guru, but I really like the way that PTTA structures their lower level grading. It's based on knowledge, right? Can you do a male triangle, female triangle, sidestep, angle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Is based on knowledge, and it's like getting your yellow belt or your white stripe, right? So that's my intention, is to rank them up from there, and then they have a choice. You can go ahead and continue. I can't teach you Pikiti Tertia, but just
here's the website. Here's the instructors if you want to follow up with.
Exactly. Or once you get these junior ranks in Pikiti Tertia, then I think I'm going to create my own ranking system. But you need to level up in another system first. Like, you need to level up in a KI system. You need or like a level 2 in Balintawak, or whatever, elementary and a decompose system. I want you to have your junior rank in any FMA system. Get it from whoever. I can guide you through the Pikiti Tertia rank. Get it from whatever, and then you're going to be ranked under me in whatever the hell I want to call it. I don't know yet. I don't know. Yeah.
You got time, you know what I mean? I'm sure you'll come up with something incredible and creative. So
my black belt could be dean. Like, how like the head of a university is the dean.
You'll just see me in the corner just standing there.
You got to get your dean certification. And it's not going to be a belt. You get your like gray jogging pants. Like, that's how you know.
That's when okay, I graduated from dean. I have proof right here.
I got my gray jogging pants. I made it in Rubio's system.
I guess those who know, I will never ever live that. That will never escape me.
No. I'd like to ask the viewers a question.
Sure. Yeah, please do.
Because there's everybody in practically everybody there is an instructor.
Yeah. We got Eric. Yes, very gray sweatpants.
So I got to be okay. Let me compose this question on the fly.
Sure.
In 5 words or okay, so anybody listening now, if you teach anything in 5 words or less, what has been the greatest reward or achievement in you teaching? 5 words or less. Don't get wordy.
5 words or less. Okay.
Right. So, for example,
back with
personal growth and blah blah blah. So, Dean, what the heck, man? Like, you teach Burton system, right? Streets a lot. You teach Amok. You teach Piper. You teach KI. Right. I'm not sure where you are in the fake system, the Filipino Arnis Kali Eskrima under GM.
It's been very well. You know my feeling on that, and my just how I feel about your uncle and all that. But he's been incredibly difficult to get a hold of, and he's not been giving me my new information for the next module to go into.
So let me drop this question to you while I go to the bathroom, and Coach Justin already answered it in 5 words or less. What's in it for you, or what's been your biggest accomplishment? Like, what gives you the most? I'll be back.
Okay. Yeah, I can't argue that, Glenn. Some masses. All right, Brett. Why is based on love? My students can be. Oh, Jesus. Lord, you learn to be precise. Teaches me so. Yeah, in some shape, way, or form, for sure. Like, the why is based on love. Yeah, right. You gotta love what you're doing. Feedback and reciprocity. What we got here? This is self-realization amongst the masses.
I'm getting pretty buzzed here, Dean.
Are you really? What is that? Is that whiskey or something?
No, it's my white. It's Pabst Blue Ribbon. It's Bud Light. Oh, these are great. Hold on.
Yeah. Here, I'm going to put you right for you in consecutive order.
Oh.
Okay, here we go. So Justin's was first. My students beating me up.
That's great.
You from Germany.
Wait.
One word, you learn to be precise.
Be precise or concise.
Concise, right? Can we substitute it?
Yeah.
Here's Glenn. Glenn is from California.
Reciprocity.
We got Kurt is next.
The why is based on love. Great answers. Every student. I like this guy.
Yeah, which is right. Can't argue that, right? Let me see here, and let me just okay. And we got, and last but not least, Brett.
Self-realization amongst the masses. That's cool. Yeah, all great. All great.
Wait. Ooh.
Students successfully using my teaching. Okay. We can dig into some of these answers,
Okay. So let's I'm backing up
these answers.
All right. So my students being me up, I think we got that under control, right? You learn to be precise, but you kind of substitute concise as well.
Yeah, well, you learn a lot of things by teaching, right?
Yeah.
But this is great. This is great stuff. By the way, shout out to all of you guys. I think I don't think I know Glenn Gutierrez, Uwe Kramer. I've seen you around.
Yeah.
Brett Reese, Kurt, Michael. Michael, you keep up that good stuff on Instagram, bro. Your stuff's gonna explode one day. This guy's a very if it's the guy that I think it is, he's a younger cat, very sharp and athletic.
What art is he doing?
Huh?
What art is he doing?
Filipino martial arts.
I know, but do you know what style? Because Mike's PTK.
I want to say PTK. Yeah,
okay.
It's PTK. Only
Greg Alon specifically. Eric, where'd you get this from?
Pain is part of syllabus. Oh my gosh.
That's training with David Gould.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. It's yeah. It's so much fun.
Seen Wally? Really? From that Dennis Ocampo guy? Is that where you learned it from? I did some work with Dennis Ocampo.
Students gaining confidence. Mike Raymond. Can't argue that, man. That's a good one.
I hate that answer. Just kidding.
Yeah, I don't want them being confident.
I don't want them being
I don't want their heads drooping down.
There's some truth to that. I do not want to get my knife students getting confidence.
I want my students. My thing would be my students being the best version of themselves. Kind of parallels somewhat.
Hey, can I pitch you? Can I pitch something? Because I'm a capitalist and
you're a capitalist. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not doing this out of the goodness of my own heart, guys. What do you think? Just kidding.
Oh, you know what you gotta do when you're about to hang up? Oh, by the way, folks, my PayPal.
Yeah, all this knowledge, guys. You think this stuff's free? No,
you think this episode was for free?
By the way, people send me all sorts of crap, and I love it.
Yeah, you must get bombarded. I think my bombardment is nowhere in the zip code of what you're getting bombarded with, man.
I've never bought a knife, but I think, yeah, I could monetize a little bit better. Usually, I don't get paid. I just find beauty in everything. So people.
Okay.
Episode 3.
He wants to let you know that. So maybe if you wouldn't mind letting episode 408 be free.
You guys need to watch episode 355.
He's still going through the comments.
You gotta watch. I think 355 was like the pinnacle of FMA discussion.
It was one of my highlights. I can't argue that. Also, you want to look at 40. I don't want to misquote this. 404. Yeah, I mean 404 too.
Which one was 404? Is it just? So I'll just Renee episodes.
355 improved Spanish tourism.
Oh,
sure did.
Wait, how many people are watching? Anyway, can I ask you another question?
Yeah, no. Yeah, please do. Yeah.
Which FMA discussion episode was your favorite? Or
this is going to be good.
Yeah, because people love their instructor. Okay.
Okay, you guys, if you're watching,
which FMA discussion episode was your favorite that didn't include like somebody like you knew?
I can't even answer that one. Jeez, I have a few favorites, but I can't pick one. I mean, it's just
wow. All right, here's what I want to pitch.
There we go.
This battery's running out. So this thing takes vape batteries. Yeah, this is the same battery from my vape.
Mine, Mike Raymond. That was pretty good. You guys came on twice, Mike. Yeah.
What a demo. You can get hold on.
All right, okay, you're ready. Okay.
I don't have another big battery. Damn it.
Oh, come on, you guys. You got to have episodes that you guys really like. Come on. Brett, you got to have an episode that you're like, Glenn, I know for a fact you watched a bunch of episodes.
Yeah, but they like their instructors episode. There we go. Yeah, tricomtraining.com. So you guys know about the shock knife, right?
Yeah.
This is a set knife, the Stress Edge Trainer.
Okay.
And it's I think the shape is better.
Hey, tell me that. I'm guessing significantly cheaper.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, Boudoir episode was the best.
Boudoir, that was a good episode.
I think you can get it. Yeah, I think you can get two for like $250. Maybe
that's significantly cheaper than.
Yeah, I think one shock knife is like $400 or something like that. So you can get a pair less than
that's coming down. I think they were when they first came out. Weren't they like significantly higher?
Oh yeah, they were expensive. Yeah, but you know what? They were like the market leader. Like they did all the research.
They quoted me $1,000 or something. I mean, $392. Stephen Barnes. Okay, Kurt. All right.
Cool.
I think Tom did that one if I'm not mistaken. That sounds like aggressive vibrations. It does, Renee. Careful. Oh, you guys, come on now. Your favorite episodes.
Let's see. What if I went to popular? Okay, here are the most popular.
Well, the most popular is the Spanish. You got Amok there. You got Elric Jones's episode, I believe.
The Doyle Irish stick fighting episode.
Killed it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got 3,000 views.
Killed it.
Woo!
I know. Killed it.
Yeah. The FMA discussion 66, the Colonial Times.
Yeah.
Tom
Alex
Sotis,
Alric. Yeah.
GM Mark Wiley.
That was another really, yeah.
Oliver Garduse just shot up, right? Because he did that Buddha Brothers thing. They did a bunch of marketing and search for him. Got up there. The Doug
Both
Marcaida
Elric's episodes on the Spanish history are way up there.
yes,
Mark
number
Wiley. Who else? Let me just who else are you getting there?
We got Tim Wade and
Tim Wade with
so yeah, this the Irish stick fighting is the number one episode, followed by the Spanish one,
yeah,
which is awesome if you think about it. FMA discussion, the top two most viewed videos are Irish stick fighting and discussions.
Spanish. I know.
What's going on, Filipinos?
That was a good episode, Brian. The Steve Saxman. Okay, what else? Roger was a good episode. Jack, yeah. Okay.
And then from there, it's pretty much all separated by just a few hundred views, right? So you got Doug at 1.8.
No, Doug. Oh, that's matter of fact, Doug at one time was in the top 5. I remember that.
Yeah.
Mark Wiley's ones. I mean, not Mark Wiley. Mark Wiley and
Maya
Crafty Dog. Maya. Yeah.
Yeah, Crafty Dog.
This was a special one for me. The one that James just mentioned.
Yeah.
That resonated with me. Kind of, because shortly thereafter we got him on, he passed away. Yeah, so that was a good one. Give 407 some time. You never know, Kurt. You never know. Oh, here we go. He's okay. Look at this. I think he's mentioning. I don't know if he just drew numbers up. But here we go. This is from Glenn. 173, 174, 141, 108.
What? No. What the heck?
Yeah.
Let me bring this up.
Offhand. Okay.
Okay, give me a number. 174. Oh crap! Never mind. Oh, okay. Here we go. 174.
I don't even know. Jeez.
What are some of those numbers?
Okay, so you got 173 and 174.
Okay, 173 and 174. I'm actually glad that you listed it with
numerically. Imagine trying to find it. Yeah.
Okay, 173 is Ryan Cordero and Sachi Villarreal.
That was a good one. Yeah, I can see that.
That guy's a beast. 174 is Crispulo Ising Atilio. Okay, next.
That was a good one. Yeah.
Let's look at 213. Who's 213?
213. Oof. I'm looking at it now. Oh, gosh, that seems like just so long ago. 213.
Paulo Agaling.
I think Tom did that one. Yeah, I heard that was
cool.
Heard good things about that episode. Who else we got here? 34. Oh my gosh, now you're going back into when I didn't know what I was doing. Let me see. 34. Who is this?
I got a question.
What's that?
Who do you think makes the most money teaching FMA?
The most?
Yeah.
Oh man. Wow.
Wonder.
Because obviously I could tell you who's the most popular, but that doesn't equate to monetarily.
No.
They're making the most.
You gotta have good business sense.
Yeah.
Wonder about that. This is kind of like
Tim Hartman, man. Tim's got the school. He does private. Tim's got to be up there. He's running. He's living off it.
You never know. Like people who have, you never really know. You could be like $1 million in debt, but making money.
Yeah. But to come to just like off the top of my head, I would say Tim Hartman's would be there. I think just the fact that he's running a full-time school and
to on Paulo, he's got ace.
Paulo Lauder definitely has got to be up there.
Very well organized.
Definitely up there. Definitely. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. James with the SAC with that Chris, I'm not. I mean, he could be still. I'm not sure, but there was a time in the heyday when they first came out. They were making Marqueta. That's another one.
G and Bobby and even Jared in there.
Yeah, Jared,
They have. I mean, Jared has other stuff. He's got Tricom and.
Yeah, that's right. He's got to be. I mean, he's living off it, right? So he's got to be doing well, right?
Marqueta does not make money teaching FMA.
34 was a good episode. Guru Jeff and Guru Vika.
Here, you think so?
Huh?
He's the lead SIOC guy. Stop call.
There was a time when I know for a fact Chris was really doing well, and that's when he first really came out. So like circa early 2000s, selling a lot of equipment because selling a lot of DVDs, gear. The store was just hopping. And then he was getting a lot of new recruits in there. So I would have to say that there was a part 2000s. I think they were really doing well. Yeah.
I wonder about Guru Dan. I wonder if Guru Dan makes.
But when you say Guru Dan, though, he's got the whole academy, which is teaching everything underneath the sun. So I don't know. How do you?
Hard to partition, right?
Because exactly. Yeah, definitely not me either, Robert. Tom Kyer. Oh, okay, yeah, the military. Mike's saying Tom Kyer's got a lot of the military contracts. Makes sense. Okay, which they did. Yeah.
Like Paul Ingram, like he's got Kali Center as him.
Yeah, he's doing. I mean, right? He's got to be doing. I'm guessing pretty well through the online, right?
Yeah.
I'm just checking out these numbers. These early numbers got me curious. He's mentioning 47, 40, and 38. All right, 38.
Who's 38?
Oh, Eric Ovidas. He wouldn't do a visual interview. It just was audio. But I tell you, it kind of short and sweet, but it was good. Yeah. I could see why he chose it. Okay, 40 and 47, Steve Grody. I can't argue there. I'm a huge Steve Grody fan. I don't think he gets enough due. Mostly it's his own fault because he keeps so low. 47. Duran, sort of. Okay, yeah, Duran. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, one of my favorite episodes. You got to know this. Who's one of my favorite episodes?
The Jay and Poggy episode. It's got to be.
Yeah.
What could make Dean? We should make these. Except when you do this, you should come up with like a sword or something. Instead of here, he should have a sword. Guys, somebody jump on this idea.
Or a Bowie knife, at least, right? A Bowie knife popping out, right?
Yeah, with a Campilan instead of a.
Yeah, episode.
So inappropriate. Jeez.
Where is it? All right, folks, if you've not seen this episode, I highly recommend it. And it's GM Poggy, and it is episode 124. 124. Yes, GM talks about the FMA culture, status, white women.
GM Poggy likes the white women.
Women's self-defense. Hey, how did your uncle's women's self-defense go? Did they actually stay over for the weekend?
Oh, the seminar?
Straight face.
I like how my uncle names his women's self-defense, like he calls it seminars.
See, you come to a seminar, there'll be some touchy. Folks, you gotta watch it. Arlene Sanford, that was a good one, Renee. That was Watermelon Man.
Guys, now that I'm properly you guys, do you know what Asian fever is?
No, what is it?
Well, there's two definitions of Asian. One of it is when you drink alcohol and your face turns red.
That's Asian fever?
Yeah, the other one is if you're just like really into Asians. But where was I getting with this?
God, I'm looking back at it. There were some damn good episodes, man. Holy crap. Maya, I mean, that was another one. Yeah. Steve Tarani on Lameko. I mean, that was.
There's some good
Arland.
ones. He did something great, man.
Alric, one's on the whole Spanish thing there. I mean, you want to talk about historical, educational content? Those 2 episodes, he killed it. Really, really just informed it.
You should get. Why have you done an episode with Mr. Lunia?
My Paul?
Yeah.
Oh, done a few. Oh yeah. Oh, he's been covered. Yeah. Darren Friesen's been covered. He's been covered.
I really like that guy.
My Paul, yeah. I mean, I'm looking just back through this, and it's just like, I mean, Boy Garcia, that was a really good episode, man. I'm just looking at this. Wow. Because sometimes I kind of forget, like, just the amount of folks covered,
Yeah, Dean, this is historical stuff, bro. I told you from the beginning, you're doing something really historical.
Yeah, boy.
Look at that. You guys like this knife?
Ooh, what kind is that? Wow, my goodness. What is that? What's the brand?
It's by Fox Knives. It's called.
How much? Just about how much would that cost?
Oh, it's not expensive, man. It's Fox.
Oh, it's not? Okay, because it looks like.
Oh, that's what I like about. I mean, you shouldn't really be buying expensive knives, unless, of course, you.
I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I love expensive knives because of the craftsmanship and my connection to the art. But you don't really need it. It's a luxury item. I think that's another thing.
Yeah, they're definitely luxury, right? And it's a lot of it's name based, like clothing. It's not going to perform any better than. I mean, it's.
It's not. This is 99. It's $99. $9.95.
How much is it again?
$100.
Oh, I thought that'd be a lot more. Oh wow.
Yeah, you'd think so too. It's a liner lock, but it looks like a decent liner lock.
Yeah, I would have never guessed 100. I would have guessed a couple bills at least. Huh?
Yeah, I like it. It's good.
And you got that as you were gifted that?
Yeah, they sell it at tricomtraining.com also. So this one, I'm supposed to promote this. I'm supposed to be like, because they have inventory of this, and they're like, they have a bunch of knives, and I'm like, oh my god, like, send me that one because I think people would actually like it. And so
I know it looks like a beauty.
Yeah, it's very beefy, man. It's very beefy. Do you like this idea?
I don't have one with that, so I can't give opinion. Like, where's the rationale with it? Oh, for to get your finger in there. Oh, okay, yeah, all right, I can see that.
All this stuff. I don't know. I think I like it just for the cool factor.
I mean, from here looking at it, it looks
very cool, right?
It does.
Designed by Mikkel Willemsen. Yeah. You should design a knife. You want to design a knife? I can hook you up with some designers that will jump on it.
Really?
Well, yeah.
Be an FMA discussion knife or a blade technology knife?
I don't know. Whatever you want. I think I
now you
design
it.
There's not a whole lot of money in knife design, by the way, unless you're also manufacturing and distributing it. But it feels good to have a knife with your name on it.
Oh my god! I mean, I never like thought of it before, but that'd be interesting.
You should think about and have it be based on your journey and what you like to teach.
Oh, Mark Wiley's here. Mark Wiley, your episode was
thanks, Mark.
Incredible.
Yeah, I think knives like this are like they're good because it's cheap enough, but nice. Yeah, it's just like everything you kind of want in a knife. That it's like an impulse buy knife. You know what I mean? It's It's an impulse buy knife. You're like, I
No,
want that
I
knife.
mean, again, I would never think that would have been around the $100 mark.
Yeah.
Oh,
Actually,
most welcome, Mark. I hope everything is going well with you, GM Mark. The Franco, you're saying the Franco, what would be called? What's Eric saying? The Franco.
That's a hard word. Is it filayer or fileter?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying. Filayer. Yeah, I'm guessing. I'm thinking that's what he means. Filayer. Yeah.
This one's a Canadian knife maker.
But we could. I could have. Oh, you know what it could be? We could do that and whatever call it, but there would be a pair of gray sweatpants in the logo.
Okay, wait, hold on. Let's talk about knives. I'm gonna bring out certain knife types, and then you tell me like what characteristics from that knife you want. Maybe we can design a Dean Franco knife on the fly.
Would be most suitable for me and my personality?
Huh?
Would be most suitable for me and my personality?
Well, also based on your teachings as well, right? So okay, we can talk about it. Okay, is it going to be a longer blade or a shorter blade? So this is the.
Yeah, that would be, as far as conceal and carry, that would be too big for me. But
so when it comes to the handle, do you want like a slim profile? Forget about the blade, okay? You want like a slim profile, or do you want more like a beefy profile for the handle?
I like the beefy profile because I like some weight at the end in an event that I would use it. Like there, yeah. Okay. So
what would the ratio be between handle and blade? Would it be 50-50? You want mostly handle and a smaller blade?
I like as equal as possible. As possible.
Yeah. So you're gonna get something like, I like knives actually. I like defensive knives where the handle is bigger than the blade because it's about deployment and close range.
Yeah.
Is there going to be any kind of a curve on your blade?
Yeah, if not the Persian up. I like drop points, to be honest. For point? Yeah, for thrusting. Yeah. I don't like anything that kind of curves up.
Like, do you want an aggressive drop point or something like this?
Yeah, like that. I like that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What kind of knife is that? What do you got right there?
This is the SOG Vision XR. SOG knives.
I'm familiar with them. Like what you're holding right there is kind of along the lines that I would gravitate towards. Something like this. And I like that end there. So if I didn't, I don't have to rely on stabbing somebody. I could use the end, both ends. You know what I mean? That looks pretty good.
So something like it was okay.
That would be something
on the bottom third.
Okay, that would be something I would gravitate towards as for a folder. Yeah, I don't mind that. That's rated. Yeah.
Some things people to consider when you have a serrated knife. It's very hard to sharpen, and it's a snag liability on fabric.
Oh, for you're talking the serrated. Yeah, it doesn't have to be. Whether it's partially serrated or
do you like? Okay. You familiar with a clinch pick by Craig Douglas?
I know the name Craig Douglas. I don't know if I know
the handle almost looks like it feels like the end of an Irish stick.
Okay.
Or like a shifter knob for a manual transmission car.
Oh,
you get a big purchase.
So I can.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like you get a nice big purchase, or do you slimmer profile?
Can you turn it? Let me see. I tell you, I do. I want to start. I'm getting it straight. Matter of fact, Mike Raymond his references. Oh gosh, I can't remember the name of it. Shame on me. But at any rate, something that's able to very easily carry on the waistband. You pull the string, and man, it's out. And I want to get it, huh?
String? You pull the string?
It's like, I'm probably doing an abomination on description of this thing. Hopefully Mike Raymond's still here and he can help me out with it. But at any rate, yeah, it's a straight. It's definitely, you know, that comes with the sheet, and there's a lanyard. I mean, it just enables you to get out there again.
You like this? You like this belt line lateral draw type thing? You like
I'm curious enough that I want to, yeah, have one like that. I think that would be the most comfortable for me. What, you know, I'm guessing.
I mean, that's just really that's just a sheath thing.
Okay, all right.
Sheath thing, right? Like if you have, I don't know if I have one.
Yeah, you know, I mean, and also to be 100%, you know, honest with everybody, and as far as you know, transparency. I don't have it straight, never carried one, but I like the idea of, man, boom, it's out, you know, ready to go. I like the idea of that.
Okay, so give me a percentage split. I'm going to give you two factors.
Okay.
And you have 100% to split them between. Okay. All right. So I'll say length and concealability. So where would you weight the 100% importance?
Oh boy. I would put concealability without weight length. Yeah.
By you know 89.
You know, no, I mean 50%. I mean, not a real lot. You know. You know.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, out of the choice of the two, I would put definitely more weight on the percentage of the concealment.
Okay. All right. Slashy versus stabby.
Stabby. You know, I just know, you know, I guess that's heavily influenced by, you know, training Piper Medusa,
Sure.
You know, with article clothing, man, people think these slashes are going to go through that article clothing with a 4-inch folder. I mean, it's,
well,
you know.
Some knives kind of like a design like this, like right. So even that little right there,
I like that. I mean,
it's
that's
just designed, you know, like that's a slashy thing, right? It bites, and then you meet
what's
this.
the
This
what's
is
the brand on that?
Korean. It's a Korean
Oh, okay. All right.
brand. So whenever you have stuff like that, there's another one that's a little bit more aggressive than that, or slashiness. This is interesting, right? Like here,
God, you got a ton there, huh?
right there. Whenever you have that,
Okay.
it's trying to fortify the ability to slash, or like almost like a samurai type sword, right? Where it's like.
Now, what is that a Bastinelli you got there?
This is a gorgeous little baby right here.
I mean, and look, it's a Bastinelli, right?
Yeah, it's Bastinelli knives. The Mako. It is.
You love it, huh? You really like it?
Dude, Bastinelli is.
Yeah,
He's a balance between tactical and art. I absolutely love.
Yeah.
There's so many. Tops Knives is climbing up there, man.
Who's?
Tops Knives. They just use quality material, and they're like very prolific.
Okay.
Yeah. The Franco.
Yeah. So it would be the Franco, but there would be, I mean, there could be a couple logos. Like, in other words, it could be a limited edition gray sweatpants. It could be another limited edition saying BT Blade Tech. I mean, the possibilities, right?
You know what you should make is I think FMA discussion is historical. I think that it's undergoing a transition right now, right?
A few and there's something's going on that I haven't released yet, but because I'm not really, because I don't know where it's going to go, but yeah, I mean we've been in our transitions before. I don't look at it as negatively. I look at it as exactly it's a transitional phase. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I don't take it personal, and people move on. People do other things, and
yeah,
you know, I've always said it's not. Like I tell my students, it's not indentured servitude. You are the most important piece of this journey. And yeah, I mean, I certainly.
Including you. I mean, I called you yesterday and I was like, hey, you don't owe anybody anything. You can stop.
Yeah, and I really appreciate that phone call. That was
you can do whatever you want to do with it. It's
the Franco song or Pekka Pekka for Tactical from Glenn.
Pekal. No, what I think you should release, like you should design a knife. You should commemorate what FMA discussion is. You should make 50 of them or 30 of them.
Yeah, that'd be numbered or something
Never
like that.
make them again. And it just becomes
that's funny because now you got me
serialize it. Have it serialized. Yeah. You know what's funny is FMA discussion is FD, FMA discussion, which is DF, Dean Franco. So you can call it.
Yeah, I can play with the letters.
Yeah. MDK.
But what damn Bronco. Now you got me thinking, man. Wow. Like a design.
We'll make 50 of them, and then serialize it, numbers 0 through 50.
50, yeah.
It's the thing that's out there.
Who do you who off the top of your head that you would recommend or whatever?
I don't want to say, but we can talk about it afterwards.
All right, yeah. I mean, you can obviously send me a message, but you definitely have my interest. I mean, I think that'd be really neat.
I would buy one just because I want to be a part of. If FMA discussion, for example, like let's say the channel gets banned and whatever.
Yeah.
What is there in those 400 plus episodes is historical, and if I had a knife that connected me to that effort, I'm
down. Let's do it. You guys send me like who you think would be somebody that could really draw on the essence of this. You know what I mean? And
design it or have criteria, because some designers will just run with it. Be like, I want the handle to be this. I want it to be more stabby instead of slashy. I would like stone washed or satin, or I want the handle to be made of buffalo dick, whatever you want it to make.
Wow, now you got me.
Do it. And then you know what? Keep 5 for yourself and give 1 to your great grandchildren. Have serial number 000 and hand it down into the Franco lineage. That's great. Because you know why? We talked about this. The relationship between man and steel is ancient, it's significant, it's meaningful.
All right, I'm writing this down. So I'm going to wait. Well, of course, I'm going to see what you send me as far as, some folks out there that would be worthy of, contacting.
No. You design it first.
Oh, design it first, and then you will. I gotcha.
And then I'll find a designer and a manufacturer for you.
All right, design first.
Yeah.
Okay,
and consult with your trusted circle. Whether that's Burton or Tom or whoever. But it's your knife. You're the leader here, right? This is the Dean Franco FMA discussion commemorative blade. I think I would be.
That's such a great idea.
I think it would be great.
I think so too. I think it's such a great idea.
Because it's going to last forever, Dean. Like you make a knife, it lasts forever.
Yeah. Awesome.
Anyway, I think that's the end of the episode.
Yeah. Hey, again, as always, I appreciate you coming on. I didn't give you a heck of a lot of notice, and I'm just always, you were so willing to come on and talk about stuff like this, and it's always leads to other great topics and conversation, like my own knife.
You're going to design a knife. The Dean Franco FMA discussion.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want that?
Right. I wouldn't. It's funny. Like exactly. Now more I'm thinking about it. Like, I mean, this could be like a really neat thing. Like you said, 50. Here we go. 50, man. So either jump.
I think even 50 is a lot. Maybe 30. Or what's a good number? Anyway, 25, 30, 50.
Wouldn't be any more than 50, I tell you that.
No, it shouldn't be.
30, you know what though? 30's got a kind of nice ring to it.
30's got a nice ring to it.
Oh wait, have it 50, make it at like we're at, well, at 40. I mean, we 40 or maybe 45. Then I would tell people, I guess I'm ending at 450. So I don't know. Yeah, 30.
Anyway, you have to manifest this knife. You need to.
Yeah.
It needs to exist in your head and in your heart before this can.
Yeah, I got you right. Yeah, just throwing a number. Yeah, really think about it. And as far as design, and it would be a straight. I would do a straight, a fixed blade, I should say.
Yeah, it would be nice.
Wow. Yeah, thank you on that, man. Now you're gonna be here like tonight.
Yeah. It's a great process too. Yeah.
Jeez,
and take your time with it because you might
yeah,
only get to do
something like that. You just don't want right. I mean, this is going to be, like you said. I mean, it's going to be around forever, right?
All right.
Hey, again, thank you so much. Obviously, I will be in touch.
Of course,
and
bro.
Thank you for all that you do and everything else.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. Thanks, Dean. Peace.
Peace. All right, that ends 4:08. Who is next? I think Tom maybe. I'm not even sure. I gotta be honest with you. I should know this answer, but I can tell you next week. There's going to be a couple guys, folks, next week. It could be Belton Lubas. I think might be next Friday morning while he's in Florida. Confirming that. African martial arts, Damone Stith, confirming that. And Nigoli, PTK, that's coming on. And this interesting guy goes on to vampires. Runs a YouTube channel, All FMA. He's coming on. Really interesting guy. Yeah, so definitely episodes coming up. I just don't have the exact days, but as always, check on the Golden Post MMA discussion, and it will always, you guys will see them there. All right, folks, thank you as always for those who chimed in, listened, commented, submitted questions, and I will see you next time.